Top skyscrapers with a skyline that never ends, fresh air, less pollution, good food, and a lot of technological advancements. Yes, we are talking about the mighty USA, United States of America, a place where a lot of people want to go for fulfilling their dreams, a place with plethora of opportunities, be it in the tech space, in the research, in education, or even the medical field. US has a lot of opportunities for a lot of people, and people here in India want to go and live the American dream, which means regardless of where you are born and what class you are born into, you can attain your own version of success. And in this journey, US will help you a lot. People want to earn in US dollars and send that money back to India. Hello everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel, that is AirTech. Hope you all are having a fantastic day. Let us begin with our today's video. So our today's video is going to be very interesting and important for a lot of people, be it freshers or even experienced professionals in the technology space. This is going to be of utmost importance. So make sure that you watch this video because this is going to be a fairly long video, and please share this video with all of your friends who are working in the tech industry. This is going to be very important. So let us move forward. Now, I want to discuss with you that a lot of people want to earn and move to the US and earn in dollars. And so that they can save a lot of money, they can attain success and come back to India or stay there. Okay. So, what are the options that these people have? The number one option is that they can go abroad in the US and study there. It can be bachelor's or it can be master's. Now, Indians are spending more than 60% of their retirement savings on their child's foreign education. Okay, so it is more than 50 lakh plus that they have to spend for masters or bachelors abroad, even if you are getting a scholarship. Okay, and this is going to be a challenge, and this was a challenge, this is going to be a challenge for the Indians as well, for sponsoring for their child's foreign education. Okay, so the second option that you have is you go on a H1B visa and work in the US from your current company here in India. So these are the two options which most of people find it suitable. Okay. Now, as you all know, that the biggest tech talents hub in the US and Canada are living in the cities like Seattle, San Francisco, which is the Bay Area. Then you have Los Angeles, Phoenix, Austin, that is Texas, which is another booming market in the USA, the central part of US, Chicago, Toronto, which is in Canada now. Okay, earlier also it was in Canada, New York, Washington DC, and Atlanta. Whereas there are some other surrounding areas like Detroit, Philadelphia, and Baltimore, which are having good amount of opportunities. Now, if you look at the highest annual wage for the US tech talent, it is in Seattle and Boston, and which is the top by the San Francisco Bay Area. So it is important for people to go and live in these areas so that they can find good opportunities, they are able to work well, and they are getting paid enough. Okay, so that they can save a lot of money, send it back to India, or settle there. Right, I hope that this point is clear to everyone. Now, looking for an on-site opportunity is the only hope for a lot of people who want to grow their career, okay, who want to grow in their life without putting in any real effort. Instead of making their market value with skills, okay, they spend their lives in building dependencies in companies like TCS, Infosys, Wipro, and get entangled enough to send to another country. Okay, so that you're sent online on site basically. So the only way that can increase their market value is earning in dollars. Okay, and that seems flashy from INR conversion perspective. Okay, here you can see that $1, okay, is around 83.48 rupees as of now. Okay, and along with that, if you talk about the emotional and the logistical impacts that you have to face when you are moving to a new country, where there might be people who are only interested in the getting the work done and not other things, right? There is no social life for you if you are working a lot of time in the office, and if you are alone in that country without your team. Okay, now companies know this, okay, this policy basically, that they are keeping hundreds of hanging people, okay, either on bench or they're keeping them into project. And for every single on-site opportunity, they are just telling you that this is the cheapest and the most effective retention strategy by the HR that is done in any company. That they like, if you're even if you are having any offer with any company, right, they will tell you that please don't do that other company, don't go there, we will give you an onset opportunity as soon as you get an H1B visa, we will try to create a position for you in that particular company in that particular country also. Okay, now there was an instance, okay, suppose there is a person who is working in a which company, which is Wipro, Infosys, TCS, Capgemini, Cognizant, or even HCL Tech. Okay, and there is another guy who is joined as a fresher in the which company and then continued to switch and upgrade their skills. Okay, now there was a person who was waiting in TCS for 8 years. Okay, who joined as a fresher basically. Okay, for the onset opportunities, where that person was earning around 4 lakh rupees at 2 to 3 years of experience. Okay, so joined as a fresher, the first person, and waiting for getting an onset opportunity. So when that person was earning like 4 lakh rupees, he got an offer of 7 lakh rupees. But what his manager convinced him was to stay, because you will be earning 30 to 50 lakh rupees once you get an onset opportunity. And every time he ever got another offer and decided to leave the company, that person always waited for an onset opportunity in the current company and did not switch to any other company. Definitely, after a certain point of time, that first person who was waiting in the which company got an like onset opportunity, right? Basically, but it happened after 8 years of experience. But what they paid him after keeping him unpaid for so long years, okay, 8 years, when he was getting paid 6 or 7 lakh rupees, okay, till 8 years. So that was the highest salary that he got after 8 years. So whenever they are paying him this particular amount and that person is waiting in that company, right, for so many years, he was not getting the ROI, the correct ROI for waiting so long in that company, right? Whereas the person who kept on switching, okay, that person was focusing more on getting himself upgraded, getting the latest technical skills, and continuously switching the company after through 3 to 4 years. Okay, so after 2 to 3 years, changed the first company. Okay, when he joined as a fresher, then again after 2 to 3 years, he switched the company and again switched the company with getting a package of more than 20 plus lakh per annum. And on the left hand side, the person who was trying to make a dependency in that project to get him an onset opportunity after getting the H1B lucky draw visa. We are going to discuss about the H1B also in some time, but this is what happened, right? So earning more for all those years, the second person was making a lot of switches and getting a lot of hikes because he was continuously upgrading himself. Okay, whereas on the other hand, the first person who was working in the which company was so busy building the dependency in the current project that he did not upgrade himself on the latest technologies or the latest trends which could give him a good salary, a handsome salary. Okay, so even that person was sent there. Okay, he was stuck on H1B or the L1 visa for a lot of years, which meant that he could not switch the jobs there, and he only have to rely on the current company which was sponsoring his H1B visa. And that is the next installment or of the opportunity cost that you have to pay. You just cannot be an employee who demands to be paid fairly or leaves with a better offer. You will be that employee who just has to sit and work hard and hope for the best. Okay, and who does not or later cannot move out because either of the delusion of almost about to be sent on site anytime now. Okay, this is what the manager says to you, or because of having been baptized into like some outdated technology and being clueless about how to prepare for interviews, and simply because of the visa restrictions. Okay, now while an employee is looking to grow in India, on the right hand side, as you have seen, okay, who tries to be up to date, okay, with new technologies and make job switches and like with a decent salary hike, and focusing on getting work that actually makes him learn new stuff and keep on getting like not discussing about the on-site as a success metric. Okay, so if you are stuck in a stagnant learning curve, okay, so in this case what basically happens is that you have to keep on learning even if you are not getting a like on-site opportunity. Okay, now like discussing about the H1B visa, a lot of people want to discuss about the H1B visa, and we can definitely make a new video about H1B visa because we have a lot of friends who have been working in the US on H1B, and there are some people also who have got L1 visa. Okay, basically, so what you have to do is basically you have to find an employer which is a company like TCS, Infosys, Wipro. Okay, you have to get the sponsor for H1B and submit to the LCA. Okay, and you have to get the form 129. Okay, then you have to check H1B visa eligibility. You have to go and participate in the basically that this is a lucky draw that happens for 65 or 70,000 people, out of which there is a quota separately for masters people who have done masters in the US, right? You have to check the eligibility, then you have to apply for with the nearest embassy and consulate and wait for the results from the US CIS. Okay, so we can create another video on this particular topic. Okay, now, one more important thing that I want to discuss is what happens if you go on site and there is a recession in the USA. Okay, so I have like collected a lot of information on this particular topic also. Okay, so once you grow your skills, right, there is a no limit for you. Okay, there is no cap for you. Okay, but if you're going on site and do not have a skill, okay, you are working on a like very old technology. Okay, then what may happen is when economic conditions are tough, okay, not only people are getting risk of getting fired, right, but they also have to struggle to find a new job. and which is melting themselves into some outdated mold of the previous company. And now they are too rigid to learn new things from scratch because you were working on that old technology for a lot of years. Okay, so I hope that this point is again clear. Now, discussing about the PPP. Okay, so a lot of people may argue that even if you go for on-site for like 2 3 years, TCS, Infosys, they pay around 30 to 40 lakh rupees. I personally have seen an example of a person getting 24 lakh rupees after 3 years of experience in one company, reputed service-based company, and going on-site in Sweden. Okay, so I will discuss that in a second part where I will be discussing about the US and the difference between US and Europe. Okay, in terms of on-site, but this is purely for the US. So let us discuss that first. Okay, now, as you all know, that purchasing power parity is one of the important factor that most people ignore while taking a job or shifting abroad. Okay, so that is the reason it is very important for you to compare the PPP of different countries. Okay, so here is the latest like info that is provided by Trade Brains. Okay, basically here is a graph which depicts the purchasing power parity around the world. So if you are earning like $1,000, okay, $100,000 in the US, that is roughly equal to 80 lakh rupees. Okay, you are earning in the US in terms of Indian rupees. That same amount can help you get a good life which you can get at 23 lakh rupees if you're earning in India. So this is the purchasing power parity. Okay, so the same thing here can happen is that it is SAR like around in the Middle East it is around 178,000. Okay, and in the Britain if you go it is around 65 lakhs. If you're earning 65 lakhs in the in the UK, it will be equivalent to a life which you can like spend if you're having 23 lakh rupees as a salary in India, which is quite attainable as of now after COVID specifically. Okay, and a lot of companies are giving that kind of hikes also in the tech sector. If you go at companies which are in the startup space or in the product based space, then you are definitely getting like 100% or even 200% hike in that case. Okay, now one more thing about homes. Okay, so as you all know that I want to discuss these 4 points with you also again. So in India you can afford a maid, you can afford a cook, you can afford a driver on many more facilities for a month for a price of a round of drinks in the USA. This is very important, please listen to this carefully. Okay, so lifestyle also can be good in the foreign countries, but there are some other issues also. For example, in the US that is trending right now, the gun violence and the racism issue. So even if you look at the US presidential candidates might be getting fired unnoticed by having a person having a gun, a sniper gun, right? So this is very dangerous. Okay, school shooting is very common in the USA. Okay, now it's not easy for you to become a citizen abroad. Okay, some people even like the age goes 65 years or even 100 years for you to get your green card approved, right? Buying assets like houses, expensive cars, iPhones, and MacBook is very costly because of the PPPs in the USA. Okay, so I was in a discussion. I was having a discussion with two different people, the person A and person B. Person A was having getting around like 50 lakh rupees there in the US, was onsite from one of the service-based IT company, right? And the person B completed the masters there and was working with the same company. Okay, so these two people were discussing about buying a house in that country. So person A was on a H1B visa, and person A was getting around 50 lakh rupees per year. Now person A was moving there with their family members, right? Wife and two kids, and he was not able to save anything, and he was not also even able to buy a house there with 50 lakh rupees or 60 lakh rupees of the salary of Indian rupees, right? But whereas if you look at the person B who was like completed their masters there and then like working with the husband there. Okay, so that person bought a house worth 8 crores in Indian rupees in dollars over there. Okay, it was a very good 10,000 square feet house near the Texas area, right? So this is the thing, why person A was not able to like buy a house, because that person A was scared of this thing, that is if recession comes, then that person might, so the person might be able to save some kind of amount, right? Definitely. But to like invest in a property, what will happen now if the person A's job goes away, okay, due to recession or due to layoff, then what will happen, that person might have to come back to India, and then that person might not be able to sell that property at a higher valuation. The housing market can crash because people are not having jobs and they are not able to buy a property there. Okay, that is reason the person has to sell the property. In second case, the person like there were two people earning, and that is the reason they were able to buy a house. Okay, even the same thing can happen with them also, they might face a layoff. They might also get some or the other time to wait there and find a job. If not, they will again have to come back to the home country, right? So this is again one thing that happens basically. Okay, now the next point that I want to discuss with you is that if you're going abroad for earning and planning to save to return back, you can come with a huge lump sum amount. However, if you're planning to stay abroad, okay, and you can settle there, then the purchasing power parity, this concept will again come into effect, where you will not be able to save a lot of amount if you had came back to the India. Okay. Now other countries may have similar or higher tax slabs also, like US also has good amount of tax slab, okay, but definitely they are providing good infrastructure and facilities, okay, for living abroad, and you will have to pay the foreign taxes also. Okay, so now once I just want to conclude with this one particular point, right? So once you grow your skills, right, you are never short of options. You can definitely get on-site opportunities in different countries. Okay, you don't have to stay at any given company for like 8 years, 10 years simply waiting for that one on-site opportunities. Yes, definitely TCS, Infosys, Wipro have offices all around the world, and it is easier to get on-site opportunity from them, but at what cost? Okay, so it is important for you to learn and grow, and then keep switching companies every 3 to 4 years, so that you can learn more about different things. Okay, so I hope that we have answered a lot of questions in this video. Definitely, if you want us to create a video on specifically on H1B topic, then do let us know in the comment section. We will soon be creating a video which will be based on the European and the UK onset opportunities, but that will be in the next week. Please, please, please share this video with all of your friends who are working in the IT industry or the tech sector specifically, and make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you again and have a great day ahead.